Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder! Bring the thunder! Let's work. Bring the thunder! Let's go. Bring the thunder! Let's work. Bring the thunder! Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. On time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no fight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course, with me tonight is the cubby with the most. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing this evening?
Trying not to murder people.
That was me yesterday.
No, that is me today. Mercury in retrograde is coming in strong through this parade. I'm like, you better calm your shit. Hello, Miss Shannon. Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you, darlings?
Hey, Shannon. Hey, Brenda. Oh, well, see, like, I had that yesterday.
Yeah.
I got it today. I had it yesterday, in which it's like the technology is starting to kick my butt.
Well, I can deal with technology. Technology isn't my problem. I'm used to it being an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, Suddenly is going through and replacing your modems. They will send you new modems to put into your home. This, however, can take a moment.
Yep, and they're crap.
Yes.
We'll say that there's a few issues going on with those modems. So the new modems that you get are UB modems, UBEE modems. Gonna tell you right now, if you have phone service, and this is Altus Mobile. So that affects more than just Suddenlink. Altus is a pretty large company. But yeah, if you're going the Altus route for internet, your cable internet, and you get that lovely little UB modem, watch out on your speeds, especially if you have phone service as well. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Altus has had a big problem making sure that those speeds survive when they're provisioning those modems. Yeah. Thankfully, we don't have phone service, though we were looking at it. And I'm like, oh, no, not unless you get a second modem. I ain't even fighting them.
Right.
No. Because what I hate about this one, for those of you that have been used to cable internet service for a while now, as we've gone through the different modems, you've had the ability to at least see modem status, to be able to go in and make some changes.
Increase security.
Yeah, these are completely locked down.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even change the IP address on the stupid modem, which is a problem here in the little bear den. Mm-hmm. Because we have things that have fixed IP addresses.
Mm-hmm.
And the default IP address is what kind of sets everything in motion. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I've had a lovely day getting my network storage and all the other devices with fixed IP addresses to get happy again. Mm-hmm. And yes, Brenda, that is exactly your stabby mood. I think that's where everyone's stabby mood is. I fruitlessly, ironically, had to try to explain produce versus produce in a grocery store to no avail.
Mm-hmm.
because if you've used the self-checkout, there's the little kiosk at the end, the little management console that does not have a scale, and I'm well aware of that, and why you cannot buy produce at the little end managerial kiosk. They can ring you up for anything else, just about. But if they have to weigh it, they can't do it. I had produce that had barcodes, prepackaged, pre-weighted, pre-priced produce. Tried to have a whole argument about, yes, I have produce, but not that kind of produce.
Well,
There's a moment in a grocery store trying to explain produce to grocery people.
Well, then you've had to deal with our companies, because we are upgrading cell phone companies. Finally, dear gods, finally, he's listening to me.
Well, here's the thing. I do like what's known as an MVNO, which are your carriers or your company choices for your phone service, such as Net10, Straight Talk, Cricket. All of them lease effectively service from other companies. They're the ability to use the carriers, the main carriers, such as AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, etc. We've been pretty well served by those. We've saved money. It's been a good thing. It really had been. And then here for the last while, it just seems like the benefits of the savings have actually diminished. I think the major carriers finally got it.
Right.
This whole idea that you're going to have, one person, one line paying you $150, $200 a month, not really flying anymore.
Right.
So really the benefits of postpaid and over prepaid have kind of shifted. And that's where we're at now.
Yeah, because when we looked at it, moving to a contract plan, well, it should save us more money.
Yeah.
We won't have to be annoyed with them not sending us a renewal text message. And we'll be getting steadier networking.
Well, and we'll actually have all the renews together, because that was the problem we were facing. One of the many problems we've been facing is that each line in the plan had its own renewal date. So one happened on this day, one happened on this day, one happened on that day. They all had separate billing arrangements, which were effectively the same, or could have been, as being a postpaid versus a prepaid. It's just when in the month are you paying for it?
Well, and I've said this, and people think I'm crazy, but my due date keeps changing.
Well, and that can happen, especially with prepaid. If you ever go in early and they process it wrong, that does happen. It will move your date.
Right.
So yeah, yours has shifted. And I remember when that started, and it was a month when you actually you killed your data.
Right.
You just murdered it. Like you had a couple of days there that just absolutely tanked your data.
Right.
Hey, Ashley. And so, yeah, you kind of ended up there with, okay, I've got to renew early. And then from then on, it kept being more and more and more and more of a problem. And I honestly think you basically lost an entire month.
At this point, I think I've lost an entire 2 months, because it just kept seeming like every time I turn around, it was, they were renewing me. It was time for renewal. It was, and I'm like,
Watching for. Aww. I'm so sorry to hear Ashley is watching from the ER. And yes, we will definitely keep baby Gist in our thoughts.
I'm
Like,
sorry that
many
the
well
boys
wishes.
are going worse. All right.
Hey, Sandy. Hey, we're not as late as last week.
They
Or
were on time this week.
No, we were late Tuesday.
Well, I'm saying today.
Oh yeah, yes, we were basically.
Remember, my days rock on Wednesdays. Anyhow.
There you go. Just here for the precautions. Awesome. The baby has perked up. Yay. Good news. Good news. Good news. Hate that you're watching from the AR. Really hate that. But that's good news.
Right, and I'm good for the precautions. Like, precautionary is definitely precautionary, especially when it comes to little ones and diabetics.
Well, and for the little ones, it's the unfortunate part of being a baby human.
Right.
Is that, you can't really communicate all that
Right.
well. You just cry or sleep too much or do whatever, you can with what you got.
Right.
Like, you can't be like, my owie's here.
Right.
So that's always better to be safe than sorry.
Right.
Oh. Aw. Well, I don't think I'm gonna give Sonny any grief if he is not watching tonight. Watch over the little one.
Right.
Oh, that was the alarm for them. The baby slept way too much.
Yeah. And that happens when they start feeling bad. They go with nappy poo.
Or they just get really screamy, like screaming, cry, owie. Like,
Yeah.
it's this weird thing, but like different. As someone who is not a parent,
Mm-hmm.
I can still hear the difference between different kid noises.
Mm-hmm.
Is that sometimes it's like, please get that baby to a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with them, but that's not like, that's a baby need help.
Right.
That's a baby need medical attention now.
Right.
Like, there's no, like, this isn't a diaper. This isn't hungry.
Right.
This is a whole different sound, and that's the one. Just take them to a doctor. I don't know what's going on, but you need to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's...
Well, I do have a lot of, like, nieces and nephews and, like, all that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Aww. Oh, Shannon's brother would always cry no matter what. They thought he was just a croupy baby. Croupy, not crappy. But come to find out, his iron was way too high. They had to switch his formula. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, empathic Joe, who doesn't identify with that one.
No, it's not that I don't identify with it. It's just, to me, it just feels like, how can you not hear that in that?
Right.
Like, those kind of things. It's like, how did you not hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, kids can be screaming next to me, and like, my brain will just dismiss it. Like, nope, happy baby.
Right.
Like, happy baby, life's good. Baby needs a diaper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then there's the other sounds, and it's like, no, I don't know what that means, but that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is so much pain and struggle in that.
See, I'm good with babies. I can deal with the crying, the formula, the up at 4, everything. I'm good until about 6, maybe 7. Whenever they learn that 2-letter word that starts with N.
Well, that's at the age in which you actually learn you can have some control over things.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can bring them back at 13, and I'm great with them.
Well, but that's an annoying stage for every kid, because once you learn you have some control over your environment through 2 letters, no.
Uh-huh.
You got to test those limits. Like, how much can I control?
Uh-huh.
You learn a lot from it, though.
Yep.
Oh, Ashley's good till the hormones set in. We've had this conversation, at least amongst ourselves. I don't know if we made it onto the show, but like my sister introduced me to this concept, and I'd never really thought about it until she said something and like delineated it. Is there like, especially with parents, there's like baby parents. They're really good with babies, but after that, they got nothing.
Mhm.
There's like toddler parents and like, you know, the in-betweens parents and the teenage parents and the, you know, see me when you're an adult because then I can be a great parent. You know, I like,
I
yeah.
don't know. You know, because I've raised a few, and I'm great. You know, up until we get them to second grade. After second grade, it's just like I can't deal with you. Don't listen to what I tell you to do. You don't want a snack. You don't want a cookie. You don't want a nothing. All you know is no. So I can't deal with you. And then when they appear back up around 13, I can have a conversation with them, and it's so much fun. Like 13 to 16 is for me the fun time with, you know, little ones. That's when I can be fun and go, oh, here's money, go do something.
Oh, so Ashley's saying Sunny is a great baby parent and toddler parent. We have yet to see about child teenager.
Oh.
Well, those are some very testing years. I think everyone can just say that. It's like baby ages can be really frustrating, scary years because they don't talk. They can't tell you what's going on. Toddler years can be super scary because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like they'll do anything. Like they'll run off, they'll run in front of things, they'll stick things into things like electrical sockets. They'll put everything in their mouth. Like those can be scary years. Child parents, you know, or the child years, you've got the whole like they're not dumb anymore. Like they're not just shoving everything in their mouth and being, you know, like oh my God, you could die. But then they get more like adventuresome. Like they want to like test their limits and their boundaries and, you know, go further than you told them to. And, you know, play in places that aren't safe because they're cool. You know, then you have the teenage years, and that's like, whoa.
Yeah, I have to say my favorite two stages are the one Brenda doesn't like, the floppy, you know, the floppy breakable newborn stage. Love the baby during that time. Like they just fit perfectly onto the belly, go to sleep, no big problem.
I think
and
it's
then
the toddler
like
years.
16 to 17-year-olds when you can, you know, sit there and go, so what do you want to do in 5 years? And they look at you and go, 5 years? That's more than 3/4 of my life. I don't know. And watching them learn the adult world is amazing.
I think it's the toddler years for me that's like, no. Like pre-toddler, post-toddler, or post, like, you know, when they like that toddler phase is the one I can't stand because they're like you every fucking second you have to watch them because they will the second you forget to pay attention, you get distracted or whatever, they will do something.
Well, that's because they need to do things. You know, that's when you get them good toys. You create good safe areas, which was my mission today, is to, you know, why he dealt with the internet stuff, because we have learned there are times that we cannot live together.
No. Well, internet and phone, that's what I was dealing with today. 2 different providers. Well, 3 different providers. Totally different issues, and I'm just sitting at the desk like, okay, I have one chat with one provider going, one chat with another provider going, and I'm trying to reset everything that has a fixed IP address. It's like, but no, I'm fine with babies. Babies don't really hit a last nerve for me unless they hit that, like, I'm sick, take me to the ER now.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, I don't know what we've got to do, but let's go now. Like,
Uh-huh.
throw the kid over your shoulder, let's go. Like that's my only like panicky thing with them is when they get that one sound that's like, it's like a bad cavity drill or something for me. It's like, no, everything's wrong, must fix baby.
Mm-hmm.
But and skip the toddler years, like, no, you can go to daycare. Like find a babysitter. I don't know, something like, nope, not interested.
Yeah, but that was the same age that you let your nephews pet the fish.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
no,
crap when he told me he let them pet the fish.
they did pet the fish. The fish were fine.
Uh-huh.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think they're cute at that age. I think kids are very cute at that age. Like, I want to let them pet the fish and pet the doggies and pet the kitties and go run around and explore and play for like 3 days and then take them home and come back next year. Like, I'm done. Like, it's all the toddler I can handle. Like, that's where I'm at. But no, babies I'm fine with, and then everything beyond that I'm good with. Like, in the teenage years, and I can understand, like, it's not that I don't understand why people hate the teenage years. Like, I've had some terse conversations with some teenagers where it's like, what has gone wrong in your brain? Like, but at least, like, with teenagers, that the ability to make those connections is there. Like, they can be willful and choose not to, but ultimately you can still to some degree try to talk to them.
Yep.
Like, and then just dismiss it as they're being a teenager.
Right. And and we're going through this because we're with we've got 3 different examples. We've got the old lady Pomeranian, easy as pie. Keep food in her bowl, keep water in her bowl, and her pad change. She don't care what else goes on. We've got the teenager Vlad who is like, don't fuck with my music, leave me alone. I want your attention. Great, you gave me a treat, now go the fuck away.
Yeah.
And now we've got the toddler, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mission today was to get toddler gates.
Literal. Literal.
Go get toddler gates so that, when it comes time for winter, he doesn't have to go outside or to his kennel. He can have room to run in the house. Set some boundaries there.
There you go. Oh, but yes.
Yeah. It was a fun trip, and I really realized that, yes, Mercury in retrograde has came early to southern West Virginia. I should just be doing pickups. Like, just order it from the freaking phone, sit in the dang parking lot, take the 20 minutes to sit there, and let them bring it to me.
I know, right?
Yeah. Like, we need to go back to using our technology. It's been fun dealing with humans, but it's time for going back.
No, it hasn't. It has not been fun dealing with humans. What did you have to drink before the show? I'm afraid you're...
My medicine.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's what got you thinking you like human interaction again.
I said it's been fun. Now I'm going back to my world of technology.
Uh-huh. Oh, but yeah. No, I have my days. I'm just maxed on people. Yeah. And it's not that I hate all people. It's just sometimes it's like I need a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, and we need to explain some concepts to some humans.
No, I just need my staff with me at all times. The one with the nice, big, huge wooden owl that really makes a nice dent on the head. That's what I need with me at all times.
Yes. Well, there's that.
I
don't know. No, Well, and I would say if we really should extend, like, and then there's the adult years. There's some adult years that I don't appreciate human beings.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. Like there's a phase that like every human goes through, and it seems to intersect right there with retirement, when it's like, I don't have anything better to do today. And it's like, but the rest of us do.
And the first year of college.
No, I'm cool with that.
No, they all think that they can change the world, remold the system, solve all the world's problems.
Oh, I find that shit entertaining.
It drives me fucking nuts. And it's like, no, that's not how that is. That's cute that you learned that in your book. That's not how that is.
Yeah. No, I like those years. And that comes from being in college. Mm-hmm. And, at the time, I didn't really appreciate it until, like, much, much later. Mm-hmm. But, like, my first year of college, I think I ruined so many mothers' plans to ensure their children had to come home every weekend. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous. Because they could not feed themselves. They could not cook. They could not do laundry. They had no base concept. Like, they knew this kid was going to college, so they just did everything for them up to college to ensure they had to come home.
Because there's the problem is, yeah, that's cute and fine until, they say, fuck college, move in with a girlfriend, and have to go do laundry at the laundromat. And then bug me.
Hey, I spent a lot of time in college teaching people how to do things and ruining their mother's plans. Mm-hmm. I knew it later, and I was like, I should feel bad. Mm-hmm. And Sandy, I am watching it on the retirement years, because now there's some people that do this, and then there are other people that are like, I retired from a job. Now I got to find something else to do. I'm cool with those people. Like the people that leave a job and then they go find a volunteer opportunity, start a new career, something that is not like what they used to be doing. Maybe a little less demanding, maybe a little more set down, maybe a little more, but still keep active. It's the ones that like suddenly now only have like one thing to do per day. And like their whole day is structured around that. And it can take as long as it needs to take. And they're like at the grocery store. And it takes them like 5 years to buy groceries and get through the checkout. More importantly, get through the checkout. Like, they have nothing else to do. So they're just like re-examining their purchases. Like, do I really want this? No. Do I want this? Yeah. Like, those are the people that drive me crazy. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, please find something to do with your retirement besides make everyone else want to kill you.
Yep. All right, so I've got some questions, and we've got some news to talk about, and we've got some more fussing to do on humans.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Especially since I'm avoiding them.
Do what now?
Superdoc said I was to avoid humans.
Yes. Yes.
I have it on medical record now that I am allowed to avoid humans. So, Chrissy,
especially dietarily.
Huh?
Especially dietarily.
They're full of grease, but anyhow. Chris
Ashley's like, I tried to find good news.
I've got some good news. We've got good news tonight. You secured good news. All right, so let's go up and get Chrissy's question.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Wait, what? How far back do I need to go? Dang. All right. So Christina, 92285, is the energy around me still positive for pregnancy with twin boys this year?
Yes, I feel like it is still positive for twin boys. Almost guaranteeing twin boys with the Empress popping up here with her big pregnancy belly. Going, you're already going to be baking soon.
All righty. And then you've got Wicked Fairy.
Hey, Wicked Fairy, what's up?
Wicked Fairy 72088. Why have I been seeing white and yellow butterflies recently?
That looks to be a spirit around you trying to get your attention to pay attention to the times you're enjoying.
Alrighty then. So then you have Swaggy Star.
Yes. Hey, Swaggy.
1390. This Taurus guy still hasn't reached out to me, and I'm a bit sad about it, but want to know what's happening with him now and him opening up.
I think he's just messing around. He'll be along. I think he's just being slow with opening up and getting himself there.
All right, and Christina has a follow-on. Any month that stands out when I find out?
Well, I'm going to say probably around the end of the year, the first of the year.
Okay. All right. Okay, and Ashley has a question. Does the number 16 mean anything?
Of course, 16 means 7. 7 is creativity, I believe. Grab my numerological chart.
Don't look at me like I'm supposed to know.
Don't look at you like you're supposed to know everything. Boy, genius there, you know.
I've been saying this since elementary school. I'm only smart if you define smart as if I know the answer, I will raise my hand. And if I don't know the answer, I don't even try. Like, I will go look it up. I will find out with the rest of you.
All right. So a 7 is you may find roadblocks. Today's a great day to overcome those situations. Is a 7.
Overcoming obstacles is a 7. Yay.
Yep.
So there you go.
All right, so we got those out of the way.
Yeah.
So did you watch the Blue's Clues message? It was really cute.
I think I did, but here's the thing. I'm not of the Blue's Clues generation.
I wasn't either.
I don't have any special attachment to the Blue's Clues, dude. Like, I missed it. Like, I was on the wrong sides of the boat.
Well, I was in neither the wrong side or the right side. I wasn't even in the boat. But I was a tug engine to the boat because, that was, morning babysitting time. And apparently, and also, like, a lot of the elderly liked the Blue's Clues, dude. Like, that was Alzheimer's TV.
Do what now?
Back when, the Mary's unit that I worked in, they always watched Blue's Clues. But, that was more of a nephew television show. But it was really nice to see the original dude from Blue's Clues come back at the 25th anniversary.
Oh. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You did effectively end up in one side of the boat. In that you dealt with this with like nephews and in working the nursing unit. What I'm saying is it was on either side of the boat for me. I was not young enough to be part of the Blue's Clues like TV generation directly, and my nieces, nephews, great nieces, nephews were not in that boat either.
Right.
Like, I basically went from Barney with like one set, and then all the way to SpongeBob with the next.
SpongeBob is a Russian conspiracy. That's all I have to say about SpongeBob.
No, I think it is. I think now I will say I think SpongeBob is amazing. As in, for me, that kind of demarcated the line in which someone got smart and realized parents have to suffer through this shit. You know, babysitters have to suffer through this shit. Please make it entertaining for the adults as well, so we're not just running around with "I love you," you know, like earwigged into our brains. Like, please make television for children that has some, like, you know, totally over the toddler's head jokes in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I want thank you, Shannon, for wrapping it up. Steve ghosted everyone. Basically, what he did was when he aged out, because, of course, that character has an age limit, he said, I'm going away to college one day, and here's my brother. And poof, be gone. Came back 25 years later, said a nice message that he'd been thinking about everybody and all that. But Blue's Clues was one of the good shows. It is not like Toy Story. Brenda has the moment with Barney, and, you know, the version of the song is not the version that I enjoy of Barney.
Okay.
I prefer the one about tying someone to a tree.
What?
I love you, you love me. Let's tie Barney to a tree with a kiss from me to you. Let's hang him upside too.
Oh, good God. Oh, no. See, but no, I'm like, I appreciate, like, even kids' movies have started doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, there's some, like, more, like, I know Disney's been doing it for years, and there have been some little slip-ins here and there that they got away with, and people didn't catch that for many, many years. But now it seems to be more, like, you know, like, someone finally got it. Like, some poor, unfortunate parent has to drag this child, get drugged by this child to a movie theater, or has to pop in the tape, or the CD, or the DVD, or the what the fuck ever.
Streaming service.
Yeah, whatever. But still has to be in the room with this, one way or another. You know, okay, we're going to add some stuff for the parents. Because I remember being in a theater for a kids movie and going, why the hell am I, like, no children involved. Why the hell am I sitting in a movie theater for a children's movie on a date, no less? Not with you. Before you. And I'm watching this movie, and, you know, of course, there's, like, the gaggle of children. And I realized there was a break in the laughter. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff for kids in there, and they were laughing, whatever. But then there would be a moment where all the adults were busting out laughing, and the kids were like, what the fuck is that about? Like,
yep.
And it was like, oh my God, they have actually put in, like, 2 layers of this movie. Like, you're going to watch this as an adult with a totally different perspective. Like, I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very picky about my movies. I'm trying to track one down now.
Oh, Shannon has less of your lyrics.
Okay. Go
Hit
for
him
it.
in the head with a 2x4, no more purple dinosaur. That's just wrong. But I understand it. I was, like, there. Like, that was, like, I can do all the Sesame Street you want. I will sit there and, like, we can Cookie Monster and Elmo and, you know, Bert, Ernie, Snuffleupagus. Like, I don't have, like, my favorite, of course, is Oscar the Grouch. But, like, I don't have a least favorite, like, you know, Sesame Street character. I don't have a least favorite
Sesame Street character. Yes, Elmo.
No, I'm so good with Elmo.
No, That
I'm very
damn
proud.
thing, I swear it won't shut up. It doesn't have a battery box that you can get to. It is dangerous.
Now, wait a second. Now, that's a little different. Now, if you're talking about like the Elmo toys, yeah, those get annoying quick. They make beautiful gifts, though, to people you don't like.
No, you buy guitars, drum sets.
Oh, yeah. He's everywhere.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's another annoying one.
What?
Baby Shark. Shark, 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 shark. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
And I do it to you all the time.
Yes, you do, because you was the one. Most of these characters were introduced to me by my nieces and nephews, or as I call them, my collected lost children.
Mm-hmm.
However, they all missed the episode. They all missed Baby Shark, and I was like. Then he starts bringing it in, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Here, watch." And I'm like,
"This is what Barney did to my brain."
I want to sue PBS over that.
This is what Barney did to my brain. Is like it made me enjoy annoying people with music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now, granted, I was part of, on like the tail end almost, the lamb chop.
Leave dinner alone.
But it's amazing the number of people that, because their kids were lamb chop people, you can start that song and drive them nuts.
Uh-huh.
Because it's another earwig that just burns in.
Mm-hmm.
That you just say the wrong combination of words, and there they go.
Yep. Although, Gizmo for Yule will be getting a baby lamb chop.
Yeah. Oh, that's just me.
No. It's perfect because I'm going to videotape it for our Patreons.
Hi, Jeffrey, and no, it doesn't.
That wants to see that happen.
And Jeffrey, no, it never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Lamb Chop's Sharon Lois and Lamb Chop? Like, and that wonderful song of "This is the Song That Never Ends." It goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. Ashley, if you don't know it, go find it. Like that's well, it's not really worth getting killed over, but it is entertaining to watch people lose their minds. Mm-hmm. Because there's a generation that's there. Yep, see, Jeffrey's there. It doesn't go away.
I am from the Looney Tune generation.
A lot of that was my cartoons growing up too.
And I don't understand why children don't get to watch the Looney Tunes anymore.
Partially because there's a lot of there was a lot of concern that a lot of those shows, the cartoons had a fair amount of like situations you don't want that child to try to recreate. As in, hitting people and not expecting it to hurt, or people falling and not expecting it to hurt. Like there was a lot of like the comedic violence in them. And I think a lot of parents freaked at one point and thought this probably could be a bad thing to show kids. Because it teaches them to think you can shoot someone and it won't hurt them.
Yeah, the same way that, Bugs Bunny, you can just go get an anvil and drop it on somebody's head.
Well, and I think it was pretty much in the same category as, ritualistic satanic abuse, and, like, it was one of those fad moments. that everyone got on board with because it sounds logical. It sounds like it makes sense. I think a lot of people got on board with it. Or it could happen. It wasn't happening, but it could happen. Yeah. Oh, there is Baby Muppets. And
Yeah.
that's the coolest thing ever. But yes.
All right. So I'm posting something to the break room.
Okay. Hey, Sandy's with you. Roadrunner all the way. Beat me.
Yes. And the audio, and Tom and Jerry, I think should be brought back.
Okay. But why the particular affinity for Tom and Jerry?
Because Tom needs to catch Jerry.
Well, then the whole thing's over.
No, it never is.
Not to mention, he has caught Jerry so many times, and he's like every evil, like, Tom is like every evil villain in every movie ever. It is like the most like extended version of, and if anyone for any reason can show cause why this should not occur, now's the time. Like always, every single time he screwed it up and like Jerry got loose. Yep. Like that's Tom and Jerry over and over and over again.
Yes, but it's more so, watching them kill each other.
Oh, HR Puff and stuff. Oh, Brenda. I missed that one as well.
And Scooby-Doo was making a renaissance, although I really prefer the animated Scooby-Doo.
Well, granted, the live action was pretty nifty.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was funny. They knew their audience.
No, it was not, Sandy. Popeye was not before my time. That's why I eat as much spinach as I do.
Oh, no, Popeye was not before my time either. Like, it was in there. It was in the Saturday morning rotations.
Yep.
Like, I was Smurf generation. I was, like, that was the big one for me as a little kid. But that's like my evil villain reference is that's Gargamel every time.
Now, granted, I see that He-Man and She-Ra may be getting a movie.
He-Man and She-Ra are getting movies?
Really?
Okay. Jeffrey is about to lose it over here. Poor Jeffrey. Poor Jeffrey. I understand. It does. And I'm not kidding. There's this, like, this. We really should have generations based by what traumatic brain injury your children caused. Or nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whatever. What traumatic brain injury? There should be bands. And yes, Lamb Chop was one of them.
Yes, Thundercats, definitely. I want to see more Thundercats. That was one of mine. That one and Batman and Superman.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Which the bat top is back up and running thanks to my Super Cub.
Yep, we just got to get the back panel back on it. Lamb chop was delicious. Yes, it is.
Yes. With a little bit mint julep in there, delicious.
There we go. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Yeah. But there's been some news, and let's kind of talk about some news. So, big mad anti-vaxxers are planning on a walkout, and it flopped.
Yeah, well, it hasn't flopped yet. It's flopping.
Oh,
so yeah, they're. So President Biden announced last night that his administration would be instituting vaccine mandates for up to 100 million Americans. And yeah, basically no one expected the anti-vax movement to be excited, but or at least not positively excited. So there's this effort in those communities to try to create a well organized walkout through the weekend into Monday and Tuesday in protest against the vaccine mandate. It's not going well.
No.
Basically, this started, and oh, by the way, we should mention Brenda alerted me to this one. But yeah, so it's not going well. There's template forms for getting a religious exemption. There's a pre-created flyer and a suggestion of where to get it printed. So far, that printer has had exactly 2 orders for flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad. Which, by the way, that printer that was named doesn't really agree, but they're taking the opposite of like the cake situation, and they're like, look, I just print stuff. Like, I'm just trying to make money.
Yeah.
Like, someone orders
let's
it.
Be clear about the Biden vax thing.
Mm-hmm.
What it is it's the federal government. If you're a federal government employee, contractor, or subcontractor, it'll be mandated for you to take the vaccine, just like it is mandatory for nurses and doctors and medical professionals by October 31st to have the vaccine. Like we have seen in other industries, like we have seen in other things. It is mandatory to have a TB test to work in a hospital. It is mandatory to be TB tested if you are a federal employee. It is mandatory to get your polio vaccine to go into schools. Now, LA County was the first school district to require a COVID vaccination to be in school. We have recently in West Virginia seen Logan County say, fine, if you're going to be unvaccinated, you go to remote.
Right. And here's the thing with that. And basically what keeps getting missed in this is it's mandatory if you want to do these things, if you want to be employed in this role, if you want to work for the government, if you want to be in schools, if you want to be a nurse in this medical facility, you can go elsewhere. Like, this isn't, or death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no roundup and concentration, like, because a lot of this has been called, and there's been some really ugly comments made, that people are being, treated like Jews. Like, that's the ugly comment. Like, it's making the government out to be Nazi Germany and blah, blah, blah. It's like they got accused of being Nazis enough. They finally, like, they've turned it around. But,
right.
And it's wrong. Like, we're not going to round you up. No one's going to round you up and put you in a little camp.
Right.
Like,
but also, I'm going to answer Shaggy's question. I'm going to say it's within a week to 2 weeks. He's right there at that tipping point. It was a follow-up to when Taurus do, just connecting with her. All right. So, here's the facts. Here's the hard facts. This is how vaccines go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the flu vaccine wasn't even FDA approved at all. In general, when it was mandated for all nurses in the state of West Virginia to get it, it hadn't been tested. It was first out. It was the H1N1 vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
No questions. You had to take it to be a nurse. You still have to have a flu vaccine to keep your medical license, registration.
Well, and moreover, like, having had H1N1, Jesus, like, that was a horrible flu.
Right.
I mean, there's the flu. There's feeling bad for a few days, and the flu. And then there's H1N1, and there were moments there I was somewhere between I thought I was going to die and I wished I would. Because it kicked me horribly.
Yeah. Now, Joe, since you had this, think if you were a 91-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Oh God. I don't think you're I don't. Granted, every 91-year-old is different, but as a general category, I don't think you're making through it. And if you have dementia on top of it, I think you would be scared shitless.
Right. And then
Like,
revert that and think of it as a 5-year-old cancer patient.
oh yeah.
If you work in ER, you can come into contact with both situations. And at that time, nurses were working sick. They still work sick. Yeah. Okay, COVID has brought back the precautions that needed to be there ages ago. But at the same time.
And there for a while across the entire working world.
Yeah.
Like there was, because I do remember H1N1 was the first time the company I was working for gave a shit.
Yeah.
Whether or not we were sick or not.
Yeah.
And, that there was enough attached fear that, okay, no, we're, yeah, normally we're like, whatever, get over it, suck it up, man up, whatever. Oh, I don't feel good, whatever, get your ass to work, was the general philosophy there. A lot of companies have had that. H1N1 was the first time that company was like, nope, take all the time you need.
Right.
Stay out of here till you're better. Not that really worked out well for me because I could work from home. So I only took like a few hours off that entire week.
Right.
Like
but
I
you went through that experience because originally your old boss gave shit. And by the end of the week, they were like, oh, fuck no. You are not allowed in here with fever. You're not allowed here with the sniffles. And every one of you better have a vaccine if you want a job by next week.
Actually, no, they didn't go that route.
Oh.
But now the next year, they were pushing hard on the flu shots. Like they were like they opened up, had nurses come in to administer. We had little flu events, vaccination events. Yeah, like it was a total spinning change.
Right.
From one side of we don't care. Yes, you have employee funded insurance. Use it, when it won't affect your work schedule. They didn't want you leaving early to go to doctor's appointments. And if, this was the kind of place that thought that you should schedule emergencies or unexpected events. You should schedule them for when you're already off, the weekend. And it's that's not really how this works.
Right.
That's not human.
Right.
I took crap for having to have gallbladder surgery. That I had surgery on a Sunday morning, emergency surgery. There was a serious question as to whether I'd be at work on Monday or not. And then I had to spend an entire week calling in every single morning after having surgery, emergency surgery. Yeah.
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 But anyhow, so basically Biden has done, as he is technically the CEO of the company of the United States, what we are seeing out of other corporate entities and require this. And it's a good move of the CEO. Why? Because one unvaccinated COVID positive employee could take out your federal government, could take out a whole federal building, could take out a whole federal prison.
Well, and especially when you have multiples, because we know that right now your risk is far, far greater, not only for getting it, but for having, the worst version of it and the worst experience with it that may involve death. Not to mention the long-term effects. You get a lot of people working in a department that are all unvaccinated, And even if you have some that are vaccinated, if you have a large number that are unvaccinated, you could shut down a department.
Or an
Not
army.
only just in the short term, but you could do major damage to that department.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're talking about government jobs, which are one of the last few that have a pension and like career employees, as in, they spend their entire working career there. Some of these departments are, going to have elder workers in terms of they're nearing retirement.
Mm-hmm. Purple Moonlight, resubmit your question, hon. I don't see it in my chat.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Oh, no, I see it.
Okay.
Purple Moonlight, 41292. I'm curious why my sister Yvette doesn't change her ways for herself or her 3 young kids.
Take a look here. It looks to me like she hasn't hit the point to where she needs to. She still feels like she can operate at the frequency and the place in her life that she can. I don't feel like she will probably change her ways for many years. And
Okay.
it's just that mindset.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
And then we've got Virgo Queen,
Mm-hmm.
82384, wondering which will happen for me and my boyfriend first this year, getting this new home or finding out I'm pregnant.
Getting the new home, Burger Queen, and then you find out you're pregnant.
Alrighty. There we go.
All right. Sorry, Purple Moon. I've never seen it popped up. But, and here's the thing. This is a hard reality, and I was actually thinking about this. We have submarines we have submarines in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
In undisclosed locations. If they have one positive COVID case on that ship could go all the way down.
Well, and effectively, you're talking about in a submarine that's pretty locked in environment anyway. Those are tight quarters. Like right. Submarines are huge, but not really. No. Like not compared to the number of people on them.
Yeah.
And a recycled, air environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah. So Biden said, fix this, get these vaccines out there. There may still be breakthrough cases, but it won't crash it out. Yeah, they're learning a lesson, Purple Moon. I feel like rock bottom is when no one else will help her.
Okay, and Jeffrey, we need a date of birth.
And
month, day, and year.
Right. All right. So that's the Biden, vax mandate.
Yeah.
All right, let's take care of Jeffrey now.
All righty. So Jeffrey, 1677, going through big changes. General guidance?
Understand it won't finish till about March. Don't set your mind on anything permanent. You are actually overdue for some changes for about 5 years. Remember to drink your water, take your daily showers, and get out and get some fresh air.
Okay.
All right. So everyone remembers the Parkland shooter. We hadn't talked about him for a little while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Well, the judge had to make a ruling that he cannot be referred to anything other than his name or his proper pronoun.
Mm-hmm.
They can't call him an animal. They can't call him a disgusting human being, so I'll do it for you. This, and a lot of people were a little confused with this. However, it's so that he does not have so many appeals.
Well, especially, and it keeps the case more about the case and less about the dehumanization of a person. Because first and foremost, he's a person. He's a person who did horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least is accused and is on trial for doing horrible things. But there's also a problem when you get in front of, a jury,
mm-hmm.
and you start dehumanizing people.
Mm-hmm.
is that it becomes easier, especially when you're already following that monster like mindset, to basically turn a jury into a bunch of villagers with pitchforks.
Right. And this is in court.
Yeah, in court.
And Virgo Queen, I see it happening within this year. The house, the kids are probably the first January, February of next year.
Okay.
So I don't know. It was just kind of interesting looking at this and going, okay, this was taught in law school. Why do a federal prosecutor need a ruling on this?
Mm-hmm. I think at this point you run into a lot of court cases in which you have attorneys doing whatever they have to win.
Right.
Like we've been kind of seeing that here over the last while anyway, like especially when you look at like Trump attorneys and all the crap that has gone on in courtrooms all over the country trying to challenge that the outcome of the election, in which there's a lot of slamming of the various local bodies responsible for those elections, of every entity that is connected to them. And basically what this does is if you don't curtail it, you either end up with a problem down the road and a reason for an appeal. Granted, it may not change the ultimate outcome, but it could, in at least in terms of sentencing in this case, it could make that a very different outcome there.
Right.
Like it's easier to put something to death than to put someone to death.
Right. And I can see that. I can see this being a ruling. And I'm sure a judge that has been on the bench as long as this judge has been is going, why the fuck do I have to make this ruling? Why the fuck do I have to make this ruling? But okay, since people can't behave, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Tuesday it broke that, Britney Spears' father had filed for a release of the conservatorship, and we had some viewers that came in and go, Britney's free. No, she's not free. And this is actually trying to shut up Rosenberg from going after him. Because when we look at the motion, it says that they have to finish the 12th accounting and the final accounting, or the 13th year accounting, and it all be agreed on before the conservatorship would be released. Basically, still trying to get that $2 million out of Britney's assets, and then just fling her to the things instead of doing what he should have done, which is resign, which is what Rosenberg has been asking him to do, is resign already. Let us put a professional into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like a last minute Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, how can I get out of this save face and not have to walk away empty handed?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but how can I walk away with as much money as I can get out of this case? Still shut up the media, because everybody was reporting Britney's dad files to terminate conservatorship. Britney's free. Britney's free, when she wasn't. Now, this is also the man that spent $800,000 on media releases. And he also served every news outlet before he served the court or Britney's attorney. Yeah. Except us. Of course, he didn't serve us because,
Well, I mean, it's basically spin.
Yeah.
It's sort of like if and since we were talking about the company I used to work for, they used to do their own version of spin, which is you and we would see this every once in a while. someone get called into the conference room, and what the company would do is they would hand you a boilerplate resignation letter and tell you you can either sign this and, you know, leave on good terms, or we're firing you right now. Like, pick your poison.
Right.
You know, basically a lot of grandstanding on the company's, you know, side. Their ultimate goal was to get out of any opportunity that you may have to file an unemployment claim.
Right.
You know, it spends it, makes it look like you left voluntarily for your own reasons, blah, blah, blah. And what we've all basically been taught is you're supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That it looks better, that it's better for you. I always found it kind of funny working, especially since what the company did was they flat out refused to give references to anyone.
Right.
So it really didn't matter how you left.
Right.
Like you could have left in a hail of bullets. And as far as HR was concerned, we don't, you know, provide any reference. We just verify dates.
Right.
So you could literally have left in a hail of gunfire, and assuming somehow you did not get arrested and thrown in prison for the rest of your life,
right,
list them as a previous employer. And when that next employer or prospective employer goes to call, they're going to get told you started on this day, you left on this day, and that's it.
Right. Well, a lot of places will also ask if you are eligible for rehire, and I'm quite sure that company did not provide that. All right, so I got a few questions and follow-up questions here. Let's take those. I want to go to Purple Moon first.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to Sandy.
Alrighty. So yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of scrolling issue. So yeah, Purple Moon wants to know, what do you feel or see being her rock bottom? Because jail, accidents, and overdosing hasn't been rock bottom for her.
I think it'll be an emotional collapse. I mean, because what's basically she's coping with is an emotional problem. So it'll have to be an emotional collapse.
Okay.
No. And I've got to let somebody in before he breaks the door down. I'll be right back, guys.
Alrighty. Oh, goodness. So that puts me a little on the spot. But no, Brenda says all our company could say was yes, no, that someone worked there. Something about an old employee taking them to court because of a bad reference. Yeah, Brenda. That was effectively where our company ended up on that idea, was that you can technically be sued for providing a bad reference. And it can get a bit, you know, sticky, because effectively that can, in some circumstances, be a bit of slander or libel, depending upon how that's, you know, how truthful that actually is. Or because what you can sometimes run into are employers, and we're sorry, guys, we've had an extra doggy in the house now. But depending upon what that situation in reality actually is, if you're talking about, you know, just talking about what someone did, and those are facts versus opinions that you may have about a person. And that tends to be where, like, what has happened is employers get in trouble because the reference they're providing is more opinionated than it is factual. And it can also be, you know, a winnable situation. That as you're, we got the gizmo for the live stream.
Yes. Yes, you hear Daddy on TV.
Yeah.
And people talking about it. Yes. All right. So that just confused him. Sorry, guys. Gizmo decided he wanted in with Vlad, so we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah, really.
All right.
All right.
But
So,
no,
yeah.
I think there's going to be back to Purple Moon for a moment.
All righty.
Yes, she does have emotional issues. I'm talking about an emotional collapse. Let her refuse help. That's just getting her closer to the end point. All right. And then Miss Sandy.
Okay, Sandy, 11/1956. What do you see as my health for the next 5 years?
Looking at your health, I think you have arthritis you're going to have to deal with. I think you have some maintenance issues you're going to have to deal with. I do not feel that anything major past that point. Otherwise, you're in good health. You got pain, you got frustration, you've got some maintenance stuff. Take your pills, drink your water, you'll be good.
All right, and then we've got one more from Christina, and I'm going back to get the date of birth. I know we've already said, but I always want to get that in there. So Christina, 9/22/85, and scrolling back down to the bottom. What does September bring in for Ivan and I when it comes to romance?
I think you guys start figuring out what you two like preferably. I think there needs to be a little bit more play in that relationship and a little bit more deeper understanding of each other's needs and wants.
Okay. And yes, we're always happy to see the gizmo. It's just that was a bit of a chase.
Well, we haven't gotten the new confinement gates in because Gizmo will be living in my office /
the living room.
The living room. So you may be on camera more often. He is a lot more talkative than Vlad, so he may have an opinion that he wants to share with everybody.
Oh, yes. 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 He is very opinionated puppy. He's also a bit of a crybaby, too.
Yes.
Like, he is such a tattletale.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, my God.
Yes.
Because we've got the Pomeranian, and she's old. She's very, like, if she were human, she would be like 100 and something. Like, if you like are cool with the 7 to 1 dog years to human years thing. She would be like 100 and something. And so she for many good reasons is a little grouchy.
154 next year.
There you go. She would be 154, so she's a little cranky. And especially around the puppy, who doesn't really respect her space and the fact, or realize the fact that she can't see well enough to really like respond quickly to events going on around her. She's a little dazed and confused at times when things start moving quickly. So yeah. So she will get cranky and snippy with him. Barky, yeah. And then he comes running to us to whine about it. Like, did you hear what she said to me? Oh my God, Gizmo, calm down. Speaking of calming down, we're not going to bribe the puppies.
Yes, we do. We are bribing parents. We do not mind bribing them to calm down.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we will give a bear review. We are very happy with Busy Bones.
Oh, yeah.
They are very good for both the older and younger ones.
Yeah.
So
well, not the oldest.
Not the oldest. The oldest cannot handle a busy bone. She likes a nice soft treat.
Yes. Well, she's gotten to that like age in which she has started to lose teeth.
Yes, she has 3. I think we're at 3.
Poor little baby. So she gets lots of soft stuff.
Yeah.
But
well, Kirkers is being hit by high cost theft, and even as shoppers fill up grocery carts. And we have talked about Kirkers having a shortfall, having problems with the organizational, houses being, closed. They're still down by 6% this year. the company in itself says even though people are stocking their pantries more, replenishing the refrigerators frequently as they cook more meals at home, that's delicious to do. The same stores, key industry matrix, are down 6%. Well, I'm going to say, and the CEO was on Bloomberg and all this other stuff. I'm going to remind him that he recently had warehouses that were empty. He is not refilling the stores that need it. A lot of these stores are in food deserts. And, Ron, your problem is a supply.
Well, I would also point out that the way consumers are shopping right now has probably shifted dramatically. Because when you do stop and think about it, with more people being at home and actually able to cook like real food, the price of real food can, and especially if, you economize a little bit and think about like, freezing and, you have a little more time to take with your food. You're less likely to be spending for more expensive food options,
right?
Like prepared meals and prepackaged, ready to go, quick dinners, that kind of thing that only make 3, 4, 5 portions,
right,
for like real humans. Not that stupid serving suggestion that is on the side of the box that no one actually does.
Yes. Actually,
yeah.
7 years for dogs.
Yeah, 7-1.
Yeah, but no, and I'm just a little annoyed that they're reporting a loss. You know why you have a loss, Ronald? You have a loss because your stores don't have much in them. And it is terrible in some of your smaller end of the chain stores. They get the leftovers of the truck, not the full truck.
Yeah.
That they are out of stuff for weeks, months, or don't even carry it. Or we will go to another store, not even in our community, because it actually gets refilled because it's right there on the interstate.
Right. Well, and that's the bigger part of it too, is I think a lot of consumers have had to shift the way they shop. Not just because of our specific situation, which is that the area that we're in tends to and I'm not 100% sure that's exactly what happens, but it is a lot of what it feels like. Is we just get whatever's left on the truck, or whatever they had enough space to cram into the back of the truck as they came down their route. And if someone grabbed one too many boxes, like the replenishment containers or crates or whatever, then our local stores just don't get it.
Right.
They always seem to end up shorted. They seem to always end up with like kind of random overstocks. Like it's weird stuff that it's like, why do you have too many of that?
Or why do you have it at all? Example, we discovered that we love the green curry, Thai curry, that apparently is served on the hot bars at Kroger's.
Not ours.
Not ours, because ours doesn't have a hot bar.
Yeah, no hot bar foods for us.
Yeah.
Not at our local, immediately next to us, Kroger. Instead, like if we want the hot bar foods from Kroger, we have to go all the way to Beckley.
Yeah.
That's the first store that has it. As well as that's the store that has like, the sushi and all the other cool stuff. Like it's a really cool store. We enjoy going to those. Well, at least one of the two Kroger's. Like. There's one I don't like.
Yeah, there's one that's right off the interstate by the hospital that has the sushi bar. It has the cheeses you like. It has, like, I can go there and look at my grocery list, and it will have everything on my grocery list.
And we can find it. Yes.
The one that is less than a mile away from us, it is a crapshoot and a half. If
it
is
every time.
That is basic grocery.
If they have it, where is it? why isn't it anywhere that makes sense? Because that store has our local store has such a weird layout.
Right.
Like it sort of makes sense, and then you have this like random just like shoving. Like, why is this here?
Right.
Why would you put that there?
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with anything else on the aisle. How looking up at the, great big directories for the aisle and what's on it, was I supposed to figure out that this is on this aisle?
Right.
How? On what planet do these things go together?
Right. And I hate sending you shopping there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I will try to explain to you where it is, and it's like, you're like, it doesn't make any damn sense. And I'm like, I understand it doesn't make any damn sense. Yes, you have to go through pharmacy to get to the soda.
I know. Like, I've gotten used to it. I just still hate that whole, like, there's a few aisles right there together that just absolutely nothing in them. Like, it is what that aisle is, but that's like a small portion of what the aisle is.
Right.
Like, that's what really messes me up.
Yeah.
Is like, I expect cookies, crackers, chips to like all be together. But then the way the store defines some of these items, it's like multiple aisles over.
Yeah.
Because they call it, like, yeah, it is this, but they like stock it totally different.
Yeah, like nabs. Nabs are over in boxed snack items.
Yeah.
When it's crackers, people.
Like when you're talking about like, the like Gushers and fruit roll-ups, like that's where they put those. Like, here's your little Lance crackers, here's your little, Necot wafers, whatever. They're over here. Not with like crackers, chip, It's so weird.
It is. Very
weird. Brenda's like yesterday, car ratchet straps and office supplies.
Yes.
Like, that's the randomness, yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that somehow is an office supply.
I just want to know where you work. Like, what is the leading industry locally that defines a car ratchet strap as an office supply?
Yeah.
Like, what is, like, are you okay? Like, what do you work for the mob? Like, what? Are you like? Is there a large hunting population that straps down lots of? What are you doing that this is an office supply? Like, those are thoughts that go through my head too. Like, who put this there?
Right.
Why?
Or the number of places you can find pepperoni in that store.
Or Parmesan cheese. And then, God help you. Well, no, this has gotten better. The ricotta has gotten better. It was the Kroger in Princeton that had the most confusing location for ricotta cheese I have ever seen. It was not anywhere near dairy. It was not with like the deli stuff and all the other like cheeses and nice stuff. No, ricotta was over on one of the end caps of the frozen section in its own dairy cooler that was nothing but like ricotta. And I'm sitting here going, why is there a special case for ricotta cheese?
To go with the lasagnas. And Brenda, I'll counter that. It's for that that overly annoying, bright co-worker that shows up to the office the
morning person, the natural morning person.
When you're just clocking in, trying to have your morning coffee and hope that your boss hasn't scheduled a meeting, and they walk in and go, "Hi," and you're like, "Fuck you."
Well, that requires a ratchet strap and a ball gag. Like, come on. If you're going to put those together, like if you're going to have your co-worker restraint
No,
pack,
you can't have that.
you gotta, like, or at least tell me the duct tape was there. Oh, see, he's getting cranky. Oh yeah, so the ricotta, yeah, no, it was randomly, like, it was nowhere near the bakery, it was nowhere near the deli, it was nowhere near the dairy. It was just randomly at the end of the frozen foods. Like, totally random extra case that, like, for a lot of stores would be like frozen overstock, or like, the newest products, like, ooh, look at this cool new thing or whatever. But it was full of ricotta cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what?
Even Gizmo thought that was ridiculous. He also was proud of telling that I took something from him that isn't a toy.
He's not a toy.
It's an attachment to either your vacuum or mother's vacuum.
You'd think he has no toys the way he pilfers.
Yes.
But
he has a lot of toys. They cover my office floor now.
Yes.
Yes.
They do. It's a little dangerous to walk back there.
I'll be teaching him to pick them up tomorrow.
I know. We definitely got to work on that one for him, though. It's like, you got to put your toys away.
Or take them to your room. So yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. Ronald, I can't whimper with you.
No.
About being down 7%. Try being with the rest of Americans who may be down 100% because they haven't been able to restore themselves to work because we're idiots.
Yeah. Like, this struggle is real.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course, they're releasing, who in the nation is recovering the fastest from COVID. Unfortunately, West Virginia is not there.
No, we're number 1 in rate of infection.
None.
My God. I swear, we currently are. We seriously are. We are number 1 in rate of infection. We went from being the state where COVID wasn't going to hit to leading the rate of infection.
Right.
Good job.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Guys, come on. We are 42nd in recovery and number 1 in accelerated phases in West Virginia.
Well, moreover, we have a high elderly population. This is a really scary thing to be good at.
Yeah.
Like, no. No, we went through that stupid period where we decided we were going to be a retirement state.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
This whole leading infection rate thing, coupled with a high elderly population, I don't know that we're going to have any seats left by the 2030 census.
Right. And I'm glad to see that Mrs. Biden has returned to work. She reported to duty.
There we go.
She is back teaching this year in person at North Virginia College, Community College.
Awesome. Go Dr. Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm totally there for that one. Like, it's kind of nice to finally get to that point, at least, in which we have a first lady who isn't just... I'm not saying that every first lady has just been arm candy.
Yeah.
But doesn't really want to get stuck in the, you're the president's wife and that's it. and kind of get stuck devoting a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
to being just, Mrs. President.
Mm-hmm. But she's the first, Eleanor Roosevelt surveyed and traveled the United States. She is the first one since then.
Mm-hmm. To not kind of take a career hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Like, I'm totally there for that.
Yeah. And I think it's really awesome to see her working. I think it's great that, she will be back up teaching English, which is a very hard subject. Highly interesting. Highly, highly interesting. All right, guys. Well, as y'all...
What you got going there?
I was trying to read...
Oh, Sandy's comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy was saying other folks may not think it is much, but Calhoun County has 189 active cases. It seems to me that we are just really zapped with COVID.
Yeah.
And 189 on its face doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but if I remember right, Calhoun doesn't have a huge population to spread those 189 cases across.
Right.
If I remember correctly. Like, that percentage-wise is significant.
Well, it looks like Biden's up to using his lovely colored markers.
We have color.
Did
someone get him the Sharpie total pack?
Well, apparently, because now we have black and down. You cannot get on camera, nor can you get Daddy's cigarette. You are too young to smoke. Maybe when you're 5. Cabell is averaging 87 cases a day.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, Jefferson, where are we? Calhoun, Monongalia, Logan, Boone, Logan. Fayette is averaging 34 cases a day.
Yeah, Calhoun is the 3rd smallest county in West Virginia with a population of 6,893 people as of 2021.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's not a lot of density. That is 13.74 people per square mile.
Right.
So, yeah, depending upon the, location of those 189, that could be very significant.
Yeah, that's a large number. And that is reported cases.
Yeah.
Do not forget, they are not reporting home positive cases.
True. But just to put that into perspective, that 189 divided by the total population of 6,893 comes out to 2.7% of that county has COVID.
Yep.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that could also be very bad for the spread.
Yeah.
Oh, what is Connaught averaging? Let's see.
Here's my down.
Oh,
Guys, I'm sorry if he's being annoying.
Oh, let's see.
My daddy. Sit.
Let's see.
Good boy.
Oh, that wasn't the view more I wanted. Let's see where we're at.
Be a good boy.
Read more.
Yeah, be a good boy.
All right. So, dang it! I keep hitting everything but what I want to. Like, this is just sad. Okay, so let's see. At current, Kanawha County is currently on a little bit of a downward shift, with 11.9% positive rate. That's out of 1,393,235 Oh, wait, nope. I am terribly sorry. That is the absolute wrong numbers. That is the United States rate. I am terribly, terribly sorry. It's what I'm saying. I keep hitting everything but what I want to. Like, I'm just not, like, today has not been the day. Alrighty, let me see if I can get the West Virginia map by... Come on. Load the data, load the data, load the data. Alrighty. Okay, so now I can... Oh, come on. That's the county alert map. That'll get us close enough, I do believe. Kanawha County. Jesus. Yeah. So the positivity percentage, most recently is at 8.97% with a infection rate of 69.86. Yikes. That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah. That's not good. Not good.
No. And of course, currently, new active cases just today, these are new ones, is 1,744 cases. Statewide.
Currently active.
Currently active. No, this is new cases.
Oh, new cases. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Today. Updated 4 hours ago.
Ouch. Yeah. So, yeah, in comparison, yes, Kanawha County's doing worse. But yeah, no, Calhoun, I can understand your fears there.
Yeah.
Because actually you are dead on that you are technically doing worse. Percentages wise, and yeah, 193.92 infection rate. That's really bad.
Yep.
Making sure I'm getting the right days. Yes.
Yeah. And guys, yes, Brenda points out Aussies do get better as they get older. So, you know, I've gone through this with a border collie. Like Vlad used to do this all the time. That's how I perfected my hand below the camera hook.
Like you're gonna sit and wait.
Yeah, like you're gonna sit. Vlad taught me how to deal with him. Now, granted, we didn't have to gate Vlad, but that's because we had doors.
True.
We don't have doors anymore because I took them out and opened up the house a little bit. Because this house is built to have doors at every door.
Well, technically, I think you got Vlad before you moved here.
No, I got him just as we moved here.
Okay. Yeah. I knew it was right there.
Yeah. Somewhere. We moved here in July back to the house. I sold the trailer and moved here. And then in October, we got Vlad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which side it was on, but I knew it wasn't long after.
Right. So, you know, we took out the doors and created a pantry, took out the door to the living room, took out the door to my office, which was the former back door. So it was a little bit of a change. And now we're going to put up gates so that he can begin seeing the cats so that we can work past the cat attention seeking.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably, and Brenda, I'm curious to find out, because we've noticed this thing with Gizmo, and we're struggling with it, is that he doesn't seem to get this concept that like he approaches people and other animals in a way that basically says, go away, I'm dangerous, I'm mad at you, I want to hurt you, at least with all the barking, etc. And doesn't really get the idea that, if you just but wags his tail the whole time, or his nub the whole time, because he doesn't seem to get that, like, this is not how you approach other animals or people and get the attention you want. Like, and we can't seem to get it through to him that, so I'm curious if you went through the same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, because Brenda has a husky Aussie.
Ah, that can make some difference because, huskies are a little verbal anyway.
Yeah. Sit down. We're on camera. Be a good boy. Yeah, be a good boy. We're on camera right there. See, you can see Daddy Joe on TV.
Yeah, apparently Shiloh does the same thing. Seems mean until you get right up to him, and then like big baby.
Yeah.
Like, touch me, love me, I just want to play with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to have a fun weekend. We're going to be home all weekend. We're going to be taking calls and appointments, and we're going to be cutting down on our to-do list. And if you need techie help, Joe is just a phone call away.
Yep. Absolutely.
And just a bit of husky. He's learning to talk husky to. Hey, husky talk is cute.
Very cool, very cool. Well, of course, we do want to thank our Patreon sponsors. We love our baristas and really appreciate their support. Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Guest, Shannon C, Shannon D, and the ever wonderful Lady Gwendolyn. We really do appreciate you guys. If you'd like to learn more about the show or how to become a Patreon sponsor and become one of our baristas and receive all the wonderful benefits that entails, please visit us at PCSPnetwork.com.
Yep. And I'm going to remind all our baristas early that our meeting in the month will be on the Monday the 27th at 8 p.m.
There we go.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Like, share, and comment.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no flight time. Grind.